Okay, everybody, welcome back to the worst podcast on the internet, Objectively Bad, with your hosts, Dan and Chad. A little rhyme for you there. Let's go.
He does it again.
Always. Yeah, we're back. We're back to weekly. If you watched last episode, we're going to be trying to upload weekly again for as long as possible until we inevitably, I can never say that fucking word right. I really
Inevitably.
No, that's not it. Until we, I'll just say eventually, until we eventually die.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
or
the
GTA
plan.
6 comes out, whichever one comes first.
Yeah, let's be real. When GTA 6 comes out, we'll try and get a couple podcast episodes out. I think hearing your opinions on it will be good because as someone who's not a content creator, you have a different, I guess, view of it. I don't know. Will you play it when it comes out straight away?
I'll play when it comes out. Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Yeah, I mean, we'll need you for the idiots videos anyways.
Yeah.
They're going to keep
true.
coming. But yeah, we're going to be uploading weekly like we said. And for today's video, we are going to be looking at some of the questions you guys asked in the comments of last week's episode, answering them to the best of our ability, and just seeing where it goes from there, really.
Yeah. Should be fun. We got more questions than I expected. We're very happy with it. Petting that this episode goes well and we don't get, canceled or booed off the internet. I feel like we'd probably like to do it again. So keep them coming. We'll keep a log of them and maybe they'll pop up next week. Maybe it'll take a couple weeks to gather. Who knows? But
yeah, honestly, like this episode is purely like an advice / just answering questions video, which I did just do a Q&A as well. So I've been answering a lot of questions recently.
Nice.
But we haven't actually discussed this between you and me, but I would like to at some point, if there are enough questions that are unique and different every single episode, we can honestly do a section or segment at the end of every single episode answering a question of yours. So
yeah,
if there's anything interesting you have that has not been answered already on today's episode, feel free to leave below. Could be something short and stupid, could be something deep and philosophical. And don't ask me what my favorite car is in GTA, because I've answered that question genuinely about a million fucking times by this point.
No, but Dan, really?
You don't know what it is, do you?
No, I don't.
Do you know?
I don't know cars in GTA very well.
Well, it's my favorite car in GTA is my favorite car in real life. I just say it's the same thing.
Sure.
Do you know what my favorite car in real life is?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna try to pretend that I do.
The only hint I can give you is that it's my favorite car because of a field trip I went on in 7th grade.
I wasn't there.
But you know where I lived in 7th grade, so you can infer from that what at least the brand may be.
Okay, I think you came to Germany in 7th grade?
Yes.
Or was it 8th grade you came? Okay.
7th, yeah.
Is it a German car?
It is.
All right, I can narrow it down to a couple. Is it a Volkswagen Beetle?
No.
Damn it.
No, I didn't go to the Volkswagen headquarters on a field trip.
Oh, you're a. Oh God, is it a BMW?
It is.
It's one of the really nice Beamers. It's like the R8.
That's an Audi.
Damn it! Same thing. They're all German.
I will say you're like one letter off.
S8?
No.
I don't know.
i8. BMW i8.
Oh, the i8. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a
I've told
car
the story on my Q&A, which I just did
I
on my
actually
second
did know
channel.
that.
When I went to the BMW museum in 7th grade, I think it was when the BMW i8 had like just come out and it was on display in like a nice little section there. It's just a cool fucking car. It looks really nice.
It's a cool car.
Has doors that like go in cool ways.
I've also been in that museum, although I did that like
much later than me.
I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Because there's
Something
like
like
two
that.
different
It is a cool
sections
car.
of the BMW museum. There's like the main thing. There's like another like building where there's like it's like more of a history museum of BMW, I think, more so than like the modern stuff. But yeah, very cool. What's your favorite car? Do you have one?
I don't know if I have a favorite car. Cause like,
I will say this.
I don't know.
For me, it used to be, just because it's such an iconic vehicle, it used to be the Bugatti Veyron. It's just a cool fucking car. Used to be the fastest in the world. It's like, as like a 10-year-old, I'm like, oh, fast car, that's cool.
Sure.
And also, for me, because I'm tall, I haven't sat in the BMW i8, but I don't think I'd fit very well. So for me, my favorite car is like my favorite aesthetic car. I don't think this is my dream car in terms of like what I would want. In terms of the car I'd want to drive the most, the answer I always give is the Lamborghini. I always forget the name of it, which is really bad. The Urus, the Lamborghini Urus is the one I always say, which is like a big like 4-wheel drive SUV Lamborghini.
I've been told the Volkswagen Bug is good for tall people because it's really high arched, so you can get a little more leg room, or I guess headroom in there.
I mean, sure, I could get a Beetle.
Could be fun.
I always like minis as well, but I think a mini would be a big struggle.
Oh God, I would love to see that.
Yeah, or a smart car
for you, or smart car. I low key want a K truck.
Dude, K trucks are cool.
I don't need it, but they're cool. Sweet.
They're really cool. They're also really cheap as well. Like importing them is expensive, but like they're really very cheap.
Yeah, you can get it for like less than 10 grand.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think in Japan, depending on which one you get, or like if you get like stock, I think it's like 2 grand.
Yeah, that's super really fucking cheap.
I like Miatas too. See, I feel like if I
Miatas are cool.
Hit that like a middle age where I'm like, I have some money, I just want to like I have a house, I don't have anything I'm saving up for, and I just want to get like a cheap car that you could like work on, I'd get a Miata. Because it's just a classic like work on car, but like I love the headlights that like,
dude, there's this
open up. It's so sweet.
I think she's Australian. There's this girl on TikTok and her whole page is just her going up to like Miatas and going like me with the lights and like making sounds of the opening and closing. That's like her whole thing.
Yeah.
I see that like so often. I'm like, that's cool. Also Nissan, like GTRs are really cool. Like Skylines, R34, Fast and Furious movies. They're all cool.
Sure.
But yeah, you don't really have a standout favorite car. I
don't know if I have a standout.
I don't think I used to, but because so many people ask me for it, I kind of have to have an answer that I go to. So I just always say the i8.
I appreciate cars, but I don't know if I'm that like.
Yeah, I'm not a big car guy either.
I think I'd go for like an older like sports car if I was gonna. If I was saying like this is the car, like they're pretty sweet.
Yeah, like an old Jag.
But I'm not particular. An old Jag would be sweet.
Can you say the brand name, the full word?
I could say it correctly.
Can you say yeah? Yep, go for
Jaguar. Jaguar.
It's just Jaguar.
Yeah, Jaguar.
Jaguar, adding fucking 3 extra letters for no reason.
There's a W in there for some reason.
Yeah.
Look, man, I do agree that the way we say it is not how it's spelled, but also English is stupid. So
yeah, I mean, there's we can go into a whole debate about this. There's some words in American English that are like said weirdly compared to British or Australian English. Jaguar may be the worst offense in my opinion.
It might be.
It's really bad.
But also I like it better than Jaguar. It sounds like the British people don't know how to say it.
You don't say Jaguar, you say the Jag. That's all you say.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, if you cheat, then it works. I could say that too.
Sure. Although there is one other, it's not a company name. It's a person name that I've heard you say before that is also horrendous. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It's a famous football player from Brazil.
Oh, okay. So as Americans, we say Pele.
Yeah.
And you guys hate it.
Yeah, instead of Pele. Yeah, Pele is...
Because it's not...
brutal.
We don't know anything.
No, you don't. I mean,
he did... guys.
He literally played in America.
Sure.
Still get it wrong. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
But we love mispronouncing shit.
Yeah, you do. You do.
But also, you guys like saying aluminium, and it just sounds like pretentious.
Well, I don't go aluminium. I go aluminium.
Yeah. But it feels like you're saying aluminium.
I will say I don't say the word that often. There's not many instances where I find myself saying it, but I do.
Sure.
I do switch between the two. I do say aluminum at times.
I respect that.
To me, honestly, when I'm talking about the mineral, like the element, I feel like I say aluminium. But when I'm talking about like the sheet that you put on like a baking tray, I feel like I say
tin foil.
I feel like I say tin foil mostly, but like I kind of feel like I say aluminum foil more. I don't know.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
I will say being Australian is a weird thing because it's British English in terms of like writing, spelling, but then a lot of pronunciations are American English, and then they're also brought up on both British and American television. So you get this weird hodgepodge of English that's like, it doesn't make sense at all. It's very odd. And then I have like, my parents are from New Zealand and they pronounce things in a British way, but then all my friends growing up pronounce things in an American way. And then I went to an international school. I don't know what the fuck. I say everything weird.
Well, the international school is also interesting because you get people who are not from English-speaking countries, but like they speak fluent English because they've been learning it for so long. Yeah. And you can just tell like who their teacher was or where their teacher was from based on how they speak. Because you'll get like a German kid. There's no reason they should necessarily sound any more American or English. I guess you could give a little advantage to England just because it's closer.
To where we lived, at least, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Germany, England's going to be closer than America.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I have a lot of friends that went to international schools, like in the Philippines and in like Hong Kong
and they're going to be closer to like Australia,
and they're very different as well. I think if you've been to an international school or you know people from that like grew up through the international school system, there's like a very specific accent that people that grew up through there that like have. It's not American, it's not British. It's like this weird mix. It's an odd thing.
It's a weird like bastardization of the two.
Yeah.
Like you get, I guess if you get more like Asian countries, you're probably going to get a bit more like Australian influence, but like European international schools, I feel like are going to get either like probably more British, but then like a decent amount American. It's also America for the sake of like media tends to be bigger than a lot of other countries. Like it depends on where you're at, but like American media tends to be bigger than British
like I know media. A lot of people that learned English through watching like The Simpsons, and they have like very Americanized accents of way of speaking because of that.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about international stuff, perfect segue. I'm back at it again. We're going on to our questions. This is our first one, and I didn't write down who asked it. It's one of two people because I know our frequent commenters.
I was gonna say you gotta gotta give them credit, Chad.
I will give them credit. I'm trying to remember which one of the two it was.
It's Mr. Llama 15.
Is it? It's Mr. Okay, I was like, it's either Mr. Llama or it's Lego Yummy.
Yeah.
Lego Yummy just asked who our fourth idiot is. It's another friend. It's a boring answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You'll figure out when they're in the video. But yeah, Mr. Llama 15, I'll put the comment on the screen.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. It's maybe here, maybe right here. Maybe it's covering my face. Maybe it's covering Dan's face. I don't remember which way we go. I think this way. Yeah. I edit the videos. Anyways, his question was, do you think it's worth it to study abroad for about 4 years in Japan for engineering? Now, Dan, you said you had some thoughts on this. I mean, obviously I have some thoughts on this, but you've pondered and
well, I'm pretty sure I think it's the same person asked this question on my second channel when I was putting out like feelers for doing advice on my second channel as well, or those sorts of things. And they basically said like, because we both have experience living abroad in Germany, we have some experience to answer this. And I will say, so both Chad and I have had similar and different experiences moving around in our lives quite a lot. So obviously, we both went to high school in Germany. I was there from 7th grade to 12th grade. You were there from 9th grade to 12th grade. Yep. But before that, you moved around the United States quite a bit when you were younger. Yep. You lived in what, like 4 different states, I think?
5? 5 or 6.
And then before I moved to Germany, I was too young to remember this, but I was born in New Zealand, moved to America when I was like 5 weeks old, moved back to Australia. So basically just grew up in Australia when I was younger, but then...
Weren't you in Canada for a bit?
Yeah, for like 2-3 months or something.
Okay.
During 9/11, fun fact. And then after high school, I moved back to Australia to Sydney, and Chad moved back to America to Kansas City. But then both of us moved states for college. So I moved to Victoria, Melbourne. You moved to Colorado. So we have experienced both moving countries due to our parents taking us, but also moving states decent distances away for our own personal reasons, going to college/university, which is more what you were asking about, going to study abroad somewhere. Now, I feel like there's 2 different parts to this question. One, moving to study, moving abroad, or just moving away from your parents, people you know in general, is one part of the question. The second part is moving to a country where you don't speak the language or are familiar with, more specifically in your case, Japan. Because we both have experience living in a country where we didn't speak the language, and especially if you're going there without knowing anyone, like we went to an international school in Germany, so we spoke English the majority of the time. We had our parents with us, so it wasn't that big of an issue. You're going to a country where you seem like, from at least from the context, you don't know anybody. You don't speak the language. In Japan, compared to Germany even, is a country where English is not very common, at least not as much. I think it's getting better from what I've heard, but in general, you're gonna need to learn Japanese to at least like a conversational level to get by. I don't know if your university there would be in English. I would assume so. Otherwise, that's going to be really difficult doing engineering in a different language. Or maybe no Japanese.
I would bet. Yeah, I would bet there's international schools in Japan.
Yeah, or at least the college there. I mean, maybe you know Japanese and this doesn't matter at all, but to anyone that's thinking about moving abroad to a country where you don't speak the language, if you're planning on it, I would say if you know you're going to be doing this a year from now, start learning the language now. Oh, yeah. Very important. Like, get ahead of it. Me and you both moved to Germany with, I actually don't know your story. Did you moved to Germany? How long before moving did your parents tell you it was happening?
Oh God. Probably like 6 months.
Yeah, about same for me.
Maybe a little longer.
I think for me it was...
Because that's just when we found out.
Yeah, I think for me it was closer to a year. But I was only 12. Well, I think I was 11 when I found out. So I was kind of too young to really understand what that fully meant. I was too young to like get the mindset of like, I need to learn the language, and my parents didn't like force me to learn before we left. Kind of wish they did, because once I arrived, I was in a space where I didn't know the language, didn't have any friends. It was like kind of fucked up. And even to this day, I think that experience messed with me socially. Like, I'm more afraid to talk to strangers now. I'm more afraid to talk on the phone because of that experience. Now, obviously, I assume you're older if you're going to college, but even still, getting familiar with the language of the country you're moving to 6 months to a year before you start going, very important to help you integrate into a new life, like, easier. Now, like Japan, I could go into a bunch of details. I haven't been to Japan, but I know a good amount about it just from like watching other YouTube videos, because I was interested in maybe going myself for like English teaching at one point. There's a bunch of stuff about Japan there's positives and negatives about every country, I guess. Like, it's a nice place to go. There's a lot of like annoying bureaucracy, yeah. With like, they still use fax machines for a lot of shit. Going to the bank is a nightmare.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
They're very specific about their rubbish. Like, you have to like fully empty out and like clean your like milk cartons before you put it in the recycling bin. Otherwise you get like fined and shit. So there's a lot of stuff like that you need to like take into account. But with moving into any country, you should do your research about like what are the norms there to make sure you actually want to move there. Because otherwise, if you go there, find out that there's stuff you hate, it's going to be a nightmare. So do your research, learn the language, watch videos of other people who have moved there. Just do all that stuff 6 months to a year before you go, so you know what you're getting into. Now that's covered, we can move on to the first part of the question, which is more so just going abroad to study. And I'll let you take it from here, because, I mean, we both did this, but I think you did it more so. I moved more so to get away from my parents. I feel like you moved to actually study. I didn't care that much about the actual classes, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I moved away from my parents. To be fair, I think when I moved, or when I decided on the university I was going to, I didn't know where my parents would end up, because I knew they were going to leave Germany, and I didn't necessarily know where they were going afterwards, because my dad was so military at the time.
Yep.
So for me, it was like, well, I'm not going to decide to go to college where they're at, because I don't know where they're at.
Yep. But I mean, like, statistically, you were thinking that most likely you probably weren't going to be in the same place as them.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be in the same place. I figured I'd be on my own.
You were living on campus and all that as well.
Yeah. I have an older sister, and when we were in Germany, she was in college. So for me, I was like, well, she got a whole continent's worth of distance. Any amount of distance I get is probably going to be less. For For the sake of the question, I mean, here's the deal. I like Dan said, there's a lot of learning that you're going to do. You got to learn the language, at least a little bit, at least to a degree, and you'll learn over time. Got to learn the language. You got to learn a lot of the customs, and it's very different because, like, I went back to the States. We went back to Australia.
Yeah, we went back to our homes, not to somewhere different.
It wasn't too difficult. But I say do it personally. I think it's gonna be hard. If you're willing to put in the challenge, I'm gonna ignore any sort of financial amount there because I just don't know where you're at, and we've had the discussion before where we're like, well, if you just don't think you're gonna afford it, you're gonna go into crazy debt.
Yeah,
maybe don't do it. I'm not even gonna touch on that because like that's so situational. You could be rich, you could be poor. I don't know. If you're poor, you're probably not thinking about it because it's difficult. But like, money aside, I say do it because from our perspective of like going to a foreign country, hell, a foreign continent for 4 years, for you 6, like 5.5.
6.
5.5 or 6.
6.
Okay. I think it's worth it. I think living in a different place, you learn so much. I think you can grow quite as a person. Like, it's good to see more of the world. Now, you don't necessarily need to be in a different place for 4 years to do that. But I think, for people who are like, oh, like I travel to see the world. You see the world, you experience culture, but you don't live other cultures. Yeah. Like, you're still a tourist, which is there's nothing against that, but
it is inherently different.
I think if you're willing to do the challenge, it's worth it. I don't know where you're from, but if you're from an English-speaking country, you're probably not close to Japan. So, like, you got to consider, are you willing to be away from your parents for a really extended period of time? And any amount of friends.
Relationships.
Consider, like, again, on the idea that, a friend probably isn't going to be also going to Japan, or you don't know anyone.
Yeah. And also, the other thing you need to consider is that time zones are a big thing. Japan's in about the same time zone as Australia. So if maybe you've said where you lived before, Mr. Llama, but not exactly sure. If you live in Australia, time zone's going to be the same, so talking to friends is pretty easy. If you live in America, I mean, it's pretty doable. We talk pretty easily. With Europe, it's a lot more difficult, I would say. But those are just things you need to take into consideration. If you're a fan of sport, like, you're probably going to have to stay up at late hours or watch things at awkward times. But, like, those are small sacrifices for what it really will be, like, an incredible experience for you. And I guess, like, the main thing I would say is that you say go to Japan for 4 years for engineering. I would personally sort of figure out a way that if after a year you hate it, you can go back without just like completely losing money on that degree. Like, can you transfer the progress you've made on your engineering degree back to a college in your home country? Because you don't want to like get yourself stuck in a decision you absolutely hate. Like, I've been thinking for a while now of moving to either America or the UK because I've lived in Australia for a long time now. The distance from my friends and time zones are something I don't really like that much. So moving would be great. However, I have the mindset of that, like, if I move to America or the UK and after a year I hate it, there's no reason why I can't move to the other country or move back to Australia. I'd say give it at least a year when you get there, because it can take you a long time to adapt to a country. When I moved to Germany, obviously I was kidnapped by my parents, not going there willingly, but it took me genuinely about 3 or 4 years to like really feel comfortable there. I mean, purely on an educational basis, figure out what is the reason for wanting to go to Japan. Is the engineering course there necessarily better? Is the university more prestigious? Or is it more so you want an excuse to go live in that country and study at the same time? Because if that's the reason, that's completely fine. But I think just figuring that out as well is important, because if you're going there more so to experience the culture while studying, maybe you, I don't know, pick not majors, pick like classes that aren't as rigorous and time consuming. Because if you go there wanting to experience the culture and you spend the entire 4 years in the books, you're not really going to experience as much as maybe you wanted to. Whereas maybe it'd be a better decision to study in the US, for 3 years and do your final year there, or do your first year in Japan, 3 years in the US, or just go there on holiday and study wherever you come from. So make sure.
Yeah, you could do something where maybe you start we don't know what country from. Let's say the US. Maybe you pick a university that has ties with the Japanese university. Like we had a friend that did, I think it was like USC, Baconia, and a place in Hong Kong. They all kind of had ties to each other, so he was able to kind of float between the three, do like a year at each. Maybe that's something that you could look into, is do something in your home country that also maybe ties to Japan. Or you could start in your home country and do like a semester abroad. And that can be kind of a way to like almost dip your toes in without necessarily going all the way in. Now, if you want to go all the way in, go for it. I think you just have to be aware that like it's going to be a lot. I think you could come out the other end a much better person in the sense of like you learn so much. You learn about like another country's culture and like a completely different way of life, and maybe a different, hopefully a different language, all of that. But if you kind of want to have the experience, but not necessarily go all the way, if you have like not some issues, but like some questions or some concerns, go to university and do a semester, or do like a summer abroad.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing a summer abroad or something that gives
plenty of people do it.
A good amount of time to like, you still live there. I think if you're in a place for like 3 or more months, you can say you lived there for a bit. Any less than that, it still feels like a bit of tourism. Yeah, it's really up to you. If you're happy to go all in and commit to the 4 years and you think you'd be happy doing it, go for it. But just make sure to do the research beforehand. Make sure to start learning the language if you haven't already. Make sure you know the reason why you're going there. Like, are you going there to study? Because if you're going there to study, you're not going to experience as much as if you're going there to experience something and just do a degree in the background. Because I don't know if Japanese universities or whatever university you'll be going to are as intense as Japanese school, but from what I know, Japanese like high school is some of the most intense in the world. Like like the suicide rates are like much higher because of how intense it is. So if you don't want that intensity, maybe going to university there isn't the best choice. But I don't know exactly. You need to just look into that.
But yeah, I think you totally could do it. I think it will be a lot. If it's something you want to do, it'll be a lot. I think we left Germany more knowledgeable. I mean, we were also in high school, so you'd hope we'd leave more knowledgeable. You
would hope so. But no, living in a broad country, because especially Europe as well, because of how much smaller the countries are than like Australia or the US, you can visit so many different places. You just get a better sense of the world, especially for like, Australians have this issue as well, but Americans definitely have it a bit more, where in American schools, you don't really learn about the rest of the world. You learn about American history, American geography, especially in like, obviously some more of like the southern states or like places not like LA or New York. It's very insular, the culture. You learn about your own history. You see the clips of like Americans not being able to point to countries on a map and all that stuff. So leaving that space to get an outside perspective of like what your home country is like from a different place's perspective, seeing the world from a different perspective in general is just helpful for growth in general, I think. Like, I know a few people in my life that live in like Australia and New Zealand that have never really left their hometown, and they're happy people. Like, they're fine people, but you can just tell that there is a massive gap in like their knowledge of the world, their curiosity for learning new things, going new places. And personally, to me, I feel like it's a wasted opportunity being alive to not go and experience all that you can if you have the opportunity to do so, you know, financially or whatever.
And that is the big thing of like, it will feasibly financially, it'll be more expensive. Plus it's also, if for whatever reason you do it and you get a year and you're like, I can't do this, you know, having to drive across like the country because, you know, I don't want to say quit, but you know, you stop doing it, you change paths is one thing, but moving everything and flying across the world and getting rid of an apartment in another country, it can be a lot more difficult too. So
it's definitely again, risk reward, but I think the reward is much higher than the risk. And I think something I've always said and my dad's always said to me as well, like if you do want to go move abroad, it's better to do it when you're younger. Because, I mean, just in 100%. General, making mistakes when you're younger, doing things like that when you're younger, it's much easier to recover from.
You tend to learn the younger you are, the easier it is to learn a language.
Yeah, your brain's has more plasticity. You can learn things much easier. Even when it comes to things like if you want to get into a long-term relationship, if you want to move abroad for 4 years when you're 30, it's a bit more awkward if you plan to return to your home country at like 34, then start a long-term relationship. There's a lot of things to consider like that. So I think it's best. I'd say do it. We both agree. Go ahead and do it, but just make sure to do your necessary preparation beforehand to make sure you know what you're getting into goes to plan. That's basically it.
Yeah. Little side note. I took a gamble and my cat was sleeping, and so I was like, I'll just leave her in the room and let her sleep. We won't record for that long. And then I see her get up to the side of me and I was like, oh shit. She went behind me. You might have seen her on the little chair, and then you might hear her, I'll probably cut it out, just start meowing, and then the door behind me opened just slightly and the cat left. Cat didn't open the door, my girlfriend did, but
I like to think it was the cat.
I like to think it was the cat too. She would do that.
Smart little girl.
Just a fun little side note. I'm glad. I almost was like, oh shit, I gotta get up and let the cat out. Cat's good. She was just sitting on the windowsill and she was just so sleepy looking and cute. And I was like, I'm not gonna bother her. And then she got up. Yeah. But we're here. We're good.
So we're moving on
to question number 2. So all the rest of these are gonna come from XP was taken. Big ups. Big ups XP. Let's see here. I'm just going to go down the list. When was the last time you were able to get together in person, and how difficult is maintaining the friendship with the very limited convenient time overlap between your time zones? First of all, last time we got together in person, was that 2.5 years ago?
Yeah, it was it was June of 2023.
Yeah, so it's been quite a while. I mean, it's difficult to meet up because we're just in completely different continents and completely different lifestyles, and
yeah, I mean, so
it's expensive.
2.5 coming up on 3 years this year since we last met, and then before that for me it was 4 years. You met up with our other friend Alon, but it was during COVID and in Melbourne, Australia, and had very, very strict borders, so I couldn't go see them. So in the past 7 years I've only seen Chad in person once. It was for like 3 weeks, which was nice, but yeah, it
was a good amount of time, but
it's rough. That's why
every time I get on the call, I tell Dan to move here.
Yeah. Well, I was getting into details, but every passing day, I am more like no.
That's fair. But for the second part of the question, how difficult is maintaining the friendship? Because we were close enough friends, we do it. We just kind of know when each other is awake-ish. It's hard to know when Dan's awake because his sleep schedule is weird. But like, I know the general times Dan might be awake. I honestly think the fact that we do this once a week is really helpful to that because it's basically scheduled friend time.
Yeah. Like we talk before and after the podcast for like sometimes a couple hours, sometimes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Before the podcast, it would sort of just be like every few weeks would be like, hey, do we want to get on Discord and talk, or just text occasionally about things? We have a group chat with our other friend Alon as well, and we talk in there like pretty much like every few days, daily. Just
we text how group pretty regularly.
People just chat whenever. It's been at times it's been particularly difficult for me because you and Alon and our other friend are in a better time zone to talk more consistently, usually when I'm asleep. So a lot of times I will just wake up to like 40 messages and I'm like, I can't really contribute to the conversation. I'll respond to like 1 or 2 things, and then you guys will respond like 8 hours later when you're awake. So that's been difficult for me because I am sort of the odd one out in terms of distance and time zone, furthest person away. But luckily at the same time, I'm also the person with the most flexible schedule, being a YouTuber. So that does help with things as well. I think it really comes down to a few things. One, if you're good enough friends with someone, you will just make it work. Like, or you just
100%.
You just need to make it work. There are obviously some scenarios where that's not the case. Maybe you have a friend or yourself have the type of personality where you just don't reach out to people and forget to talk to them for months straight. And if you let that go on for too long, then you might just end up losing that friend. So if you are that type of person, make sure to set reminders at least like once a month to like text your friend or check in with them, or set up some sort of like scheduled hangout. Like obviously we have a podcast, which is basically a scheduled hangout. If you don't have a podcast, just schedule in like once a month on this day.
Just have
talk to your friend.
Yeah, we always play this game once every 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, it's all about just like putting the effort in, because there's plenty of people that like I was good friends with in high school that I rarely talk to. Now I think if I ever end up like I talk with them again, or if I go back to Munich and see them, or they see me for whatever reason, I think it'll we'll be just as chummy with each other. But for like me, you and Alon, we're in a group chat that's active. We go out of our way to like talk to each other when we can. And again, yeah, we basically just have scheduled talking time once a week, which is great. I mean, so it's difficult, but look, if you're friends with someone enough and you're both willing to put the effort in, that's the key word, is both, it'll happen. Yeah. And like there's people have different types of like friend relationships, I guess. There are some people that will like want to text or talk every single day. I feel like me and you, if we didn't have the podcast, we don't have any issue not talking for like a month and then just chatting for a bunch. Yeah. And there's no problem whatsoever. So it depends how close you are with your friends. I know there are some people, and I've known people like this in real life as well, that like if you don't message them for a few weeks, they'll get offended and act like they hate you. Personally, I don't think they're the type of person that is probably your good friend if that's the case. I feel like a good friend will know you're probably just like busy, or know you're the type of person to like forget for a bit, but you'd be fine when you hang out again. Another tip I'll give is, this is good. Sorry, microphone. This is better for a group of friends, but you can do this with just one-on-one as well. If you have some sort of consistent activity you're all invested in, like for example, me, Chad, Alon, we all really like football, soccer. So for most of the year, there are games every single week that we can talk about. We also play fantasy football. So every single week you can, shit on your friend for having a bad week or whatever. I know there's like fantasy football is a big thing among guys across England, America for American football, NBA for like that type of stuff as well. So having something like that to talk about is really big. If you play like games together, if you're all GTA players and you want to talk about the new weekly update, even though they're not fucking interesting, go for it. If you watch League esports, you can talk about the results of I don't think the season started yet, but you can talk about that. I think having a vested group interest that you all like, something that happens semi-regularly that you can all talk about, is really useful. And then obviously when big things happen that your friends are interested in, talk to them about it. Yeah, that's the advice I give. I agree. Common hobbies and just often communication. We're in a day and age where you can text anyone. WhatsApp exists. There's other messaging apps, Discord. Yeah. There's always a way to reach out and communicate with someone. You just have to figure it out. The time zones make it more difficult. Like I would talk to Alon more often, but it's like the instant I get off work, he's going to bed. Yep. For me and you, it's actually not terrible, because once I hit my evening, it's your like morning to like noon, almost mid-afternoon. Yeah. So if I will say, if you're American and Australian and you're both 9 to 5 workers, it's a bit more difficult. But like for me, if you're in college and you've like 12 p.m. off, it's pretty good timing. Obviously it's difficult not seeing each other in person that often. Like I said, once in like 7 years. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. 2, we're in a very digital age. It's become normal now to have online friends. Like I know people that have been friends with people for like 10 years and have never met each other. So the fact that we did know each other in person for 4 years, like we've known each other more being apart than we did being together in the same country. Oh man, by quite a lot at this point. So it's just become the norm. It's something you got to deal with. I think it's good if you do have friends that are only across long distances. I think it's also important to have people that you can meet in person, because you will get socially drained and never seeing anybody. I only really meet my friends in person like once every couple of months.
but it's enough for me. And if like for some people that won't be enough, if that isn't the case, go join a painting club or something. Yeah. In terms of keeping contact with friends over long distances, really just put in some effort. Doesn't even have to be like every day. I'd say like at absolute minimum, once a month, try and have a call with your friends. And you can try and text like weekly, have a group chat with the other friends, talk about common hobbies and interests. That's really all it is. Like if they're good friends, I really just think it comes down to if you're good enough friends, it will work. Like that's all
It'll work out. You guys will find a way.
Yeah.
Guess we can move on to our next question. Dan, what the first song you remember learning on your instrument of choice? And do you have any fun band/performance stories? I want to say we both started on guitar. Unless you played piano.
Technically, my first instrument I started learning was keyboard piano back when I was in 1st or 2nd grade. Only did it for like a month or two. Then I moved to...
I mean, I learned the recorder in 3rd grade, but I'm not counting it.
But I mean, I went to like, classes, like it was like after school classes. But I don't remember anything from that. Then I moved on to playing drums and percussion for like 5 years in primary school. First song I remember playing on drums. That's gonna be a difficult one to remember for me. It's definitely not the first song, but the only one I really have big memories of when I was playing drums when I was like 9 years old was Tequila. Like that's the song that I remember learning.
That's awesome.
So that's the first song I learned on drums. My instrument of choice, though, I would say is guitar. I mean, we both started off, the way we became friends was we were in music class together and we were the two bass players. We both were learning bass.
Yeah.
I think the first song I learned on bass was Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the go-to.
A lot of people who play guitar are going to have like standard answers. Like, I actually think mine is a little different. One of the first ones I learned on guitar was Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is another classic because it's super easy and it's fun to play. I mean, my preferred instrument is also bass, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the first thing we played on bass.
I feel like it was Smoke on the Water for me, or some
Smoke on the Water,
other random song in 9th grade that our music teacher made us learn.
Yeah, I know I took lessons for guitar and he was kind of like, yeah, what do you want to learn? And the first thing I actually remember asking to learn was Renegade by X Ambassadors.
Interesting.
I think I just heard it on the radio and I could like pick up the guitar.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sounds good. It wasn't too hard.
Yes.
I think, do you have any fun band performance stories? I don't know. So we did play music together.
Yeah, we were
in high school.
We were in a band from like 11th to 12th grade. It was us two.
Yeah.
And 3 other people. There was technically a 4th at one point very early on, but he kind of stopped playing with us.
He kind of stopped,
so
which
it was
is kind of classic.
And 3 other people. So we had one of them actually went on to be in a band that did all right. They had like 30K monthly listens on Spotify for a while.
Yeah.
And then the 2 others were also did solo music stuff. Didn't get as far, but like they've made music on Spotify as well. So
one of them still, I know at least one of them still doing music.
Yeah, one of them's still doing music. I think they might be like an audio tech engineer and still doing music on the side a little bit. But basically, so Chad was mainly the bass player in the band.
Yeah.
We occasionally switched bass and guitar for like a couple of songs, but like I'd say like.
But you mainly did guitar.
80 to 90%. You were the bassist. I was like lead guitar or rhythm guitar, depending on the song. We had another person who was like the main singer / rhythm guitar usually when they were singing.
Sometimes keyboard.
Then we had a drummer, and then another person who sung some songs. Sometimes played keyboard, sometimes played guitar. So apart from the drummer, we all kind of switched a little bit, except me and you never sang. Even our drummer sang
actually,
like one song.
I did sing a little bit.
That was before the band, though, I think. That was like just the music class.
Yeah, well, so the guy that ended up becoming more of our lead singer,
he came later.
I sang before him. He came later.
He came in the final year.
And I Yeah, I like singing. I just wasn't confident at the time because it's high school and your voice is changing and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I just liked bass.
I'd love to be a singer. I've wanted to take singing classes. I'm not good enough to like really do it on stage at all.
Yeah.
Guitar was fun. In terms of like fun stories, I mean, we went to 2 house parties.
That was fun.
The first, like, they were both really fun, got good receptions. I think the first one was definitely the better of the 2.
Yeah.
I think I had a really good time doing that. We had like a full on like crowd of our high school friends just like cheering us on, chanting. We had one of our friends who we shall not name that got blackout drunk and sent to hospital that night. That was cool.
Yeah. Not just, really anything related to the band though.
No.
Just kind of happened.
Well, it was kind of related because like halfway through a song, I had to we played the song on like 1.5 times speed because we like needed to get him to the hospital. So we had to get through it really fast.
Did we do that immediately? I don't remember that.
There was a moment where I
thought there was some time in between.
No, I was like up in the bedroom. They were unconscious. I was like, shit. And you came up to me like, hey, we need to play Holiday by Green Day. This is really important right now.
Oh.
So I had to rush down. We played Holiday.
It's that we made a set list that was way too long. I think we were going to try and play like 10 songs and we never finished them. We took like a break and we should have just given up by then. Like I think we played half our songs and then we noticed like interest was waning a little bit. So we're like, all right, we're going to stop and we're going to come back. And we should have never come back. It was not worth it to come back.
I'm honestly this is something that for like starting like for like bands that have like just started up and don't have crews and everything, moving all the equipment from our school and our houses to that house party was a nightmare. Oh god,
especially because we couldn't drive.
Yeah, we could. So it was in Germany. You can't really get driver's license that young for the most part. We had to bring. I think we had to find a
guy that. Yeah, I think we just had to find one of our classmates that was like 18 and had a license to drive all of the shit we had. We were fortunate that our music teacher was like, yeah, you can take stuff. I don't care. Just bring it back.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had to bring like a full-on fucking drum kit, amps, guitars. There was those.
Yeah.
It was a really fun experience.
Carrying musical equipment sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah, it was fun. There was a brief period of time where we thought we were going to play an actual gig. And then we never ended up doing it.
I don't remember this.
Our drummer was like in contact with someone at like a small venue.
Oh, yeah.
And then I don't know, it just never went anywhere, which is probably good because we weren't. We like it was all cover songs. Like we made a song.
We wrote one song, which was all right. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, it was fine.
I enjoyed it.
It was a first song.
That was fun. I think we still have the lyrics in some document somewhere.
Yeah,
we had one song. So apart from the 2 house parties we played at, the second one where you got blackout drunk, which was good fun.
I don't know if that's how we need to describe it.
I have a photo of Chad passed out, half hanging outside of like an entryway, just chilling.
I don't know.
That was good.
That's fake
so yeah,
news.
the 2 house parties I went to, 2 of my friends blackout drunk. It was good fun. But apart from those, we also played like end of year school assemblies, and in Germany, most of you have probably heard of Oktoberfest. There is a spring version of that called Frühlingsfest, and at our school there was a big celebration, and there was a few people that did like musical performances. We played there. There was probably like 500 to 1,000 people just like on the field. So we played in front of like a good amount of people.
How many were necessarily? Yeah, I don't know how many were paying attention, but it was a good time.
We technically performed in front of a decently big crowd, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, it was a lot of school music playing. We didn't necessarily like.
I mean,
everything was tied to the school because it was either people we knew or at the school.
I will say a big issue with us being in the band is that our music teacher was very chill. We were in the IB, the International Baccalaureate System, and Chad and I both did higher level music, which means we had 4 music classes a week. 2 of those were like music theory. One of those was music creation, where we made like songs on like fucking, not Fruity Loops, but like that sort of thing. And one of them was a playing class where we had to practice songs that we would eventually use in a exam later in the year. And for this exam, Chad and I both did it on guitar. The general gist of it was you had to play 20 minutes of like pretty intricate guitar songs. So I played like classical Spanish romance songs. I played like a Filipino like guitar song. But the issue was our music teacher was like a classically trained like trumpet player, and he for these musical exams, he wanted us to play these intricate pieces, which were very different from the punk rock pop music that we played for our band.
Generic rock music that we played, which is funny because he was super supportive of us because he was like, yeah, play music.
Yeah. Like literally in our playing sessions where we were meant to be practicing these like proper guitar songs, he was like, yeah, go play your band stuff and practice. But the issue was, the more we practiced our band stuff, the less we were practicing these like more difficult songs. And I didn't think we realized it was a problem until like the first exam of like 12th grade or something. And he was like, guys, this is all like too fucking easy.
Guys,
and
this
shit.
sucks.
And we were like, oh no.
Yeah, he was like, none of you are ready. And we were like, oh shit.
Oh fuck.
So we had to switch up. Yeah, I ended up learning like a bunch of like jazz standards on guitar.
Yeah, I learned some jazz songs as well,
which went fine. I don't know. I should have just played bass. I think I just kept sitting there going, oh, well, the bass is too like not a solo instrument. So I never did it. And then like I think he had said it, but I feel like late in, he was like, you know, you can have like someone like accompanying you so that it's not just a bass guitar. Like you have like piano, but you're like still the main player. And I was like, damn. Because my main instrument that I enjoyed playing was the bass, but I was doing all my exams on guitar.
Yeah, because it felt like more of a main instrument. But yeah, it's not really a fun story, but like we had a lot of fun being in the band and playing songs. Like we'd go down there at lunch sometimes and just like jam out. But the more we played, we were like, we're kind of screwing ourselves over for actual class that we're meant to be taking, which was funny.
Yeah. But like, if you play an instrument and you have friends that play instruments, just play together. It's fun. It doesn't need to be serious. You don't need to expect to make millions or become popular, but it's a good time. I miss it.
Yeah, same.
All right, Dan, unless you got anything more about music playing, I got our next question.
Any fun? Well, I have one more music story that's not necessarily the band, but is one of the strangest things that happened to me in all of high school. So,
oh boy,
during one of these playing classes where we were meant to be practicing our pieces, me and you both went to the auditorium, which at the time was empty, and I was playing a Spanish guitar song called Romanza. It's a very famous song. It's like a very, like, it's one of the pieces I did for my exam, but it's a thing that a lot of guitarists will learn early on. And I was just sitting there playing, you were playing something else like on the other side of the auditorium. And then our school principal walks in. I think he was giving like some PTO members or investors like a tour of the school or something. He walks in and is like, and to give context, our principal was a very strange, like eccentric man. Like
great guy.
Really
loved him.
Nice guy, but he was a weird dude as well. Like very like sort of like awkward, jittery, but also really nice. He was a funny dude. But he came in, he was like, I recognize that song. And then he just sat down on the grand piano and started playing with me. And I was like, at this point, I hadn't fully learned the songs. I was not fully confident to like keep up with him. And he was like quite good at piano. Yeah. So I was like stressing, just having like playing guitar, like this song with my principal. And then he just sort of left. And Jad and I were just like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, that just happened.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah. All right. Next question's for me, so I guess you can't answer this one. The question after is for you though, so you know.
All right.
It evens out. Chad, this guy. Do you have any nightmare customer stories working in food service? Yes. Yes, I do.
Tell us. Give us the deets.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just God, I have like a particular one in mind because I don't know if I've had anyone that's like so terrible they've ruined my day. The longer you work in food service, the longer you're kind of like don't really care about bad customers. Like they're annoying, but like they don't bother you as much because you're like, it's whatever. Like you just realize everyone's just a little stupid.
Yeah. Well, from what I've heard from you, you have less bad customer stories and more bad like workmate stories.
Well, it's that with customers, I can kind of look at you and be like, God, I hate you. And then they leave and it's fine. But you know, if it's employees, you got to work with them.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna complain more about like coworkers
of
than
course.
customers. But I mean, customers have done crazier things. They just don't bother me because I don't see them every day.
Mm-hmm.
I do have one particular one. She is an old lady who's at a retirement home, and everyone else in this retirement home is super nice. And this lady just sucks. I have taken her order on the phone. I've delivered to her. It was a massive building and it took me a while to get there. And she was standing in front of her like apartment door and just goes, "What, did you get lost?" And I'm like, I'm doing you a service. I was appalled that she tipped me.
Oh.
Not that I did anything wrong. I deserved a tip, but like, she was just so rude. But this lady will consistently order something, call back and go, "I don't like it," and just want something completely different. And the first like time or two were like, okay, maybe someone like messed it up or like whatever. We'll like send out something.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's better to keep have a customer be a repeat customer than to just lose out on. Because if it's like one item, if it's a small bill, one item is whatever. It's like, it's not really costing that much. And if we've caused a repeat customer, that ends up making us more money, so it's worth it. Mm-hmm. But we've hit a point where multiple different employees have taken the call to the point where we start to recognize her and her name and her address at like, and all of that. And we're like, to the point where we put a note in where we're like, dude, whenever she complains to you, don't give her anything. She called one day and she's like, "You guys gave me food poisoning." And I answered and I was like, "No, we didn't."
That's awesome.
There's no raw food in my restaurant. It's all like, nothing would have given her food poisoning. If it was someone else, I would have like probably been like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, what can we do? Like, what did you have?" Like trying to figure out, what it was and being super nice. Someone else picked up the phone and then they handed it to me. They told me what was up, but I just answered the phone like, "Hi, how can I help you?" Like, I heard, like, what's the problem? She just goes, "What, he didn't tell you?" I hate her so much.
Chad likes bullying old women. That's the takeaway.
Yeah, that's the title of the video today is "I bully old ladies."
Nice.
And I just go, "No, he did, but I was just going to let you tell me." And she's like, "You got me sick." And I went, "No, we didn't." She's been trying to just scam us for like a year or two.
Awesome.
Yeah, I hung up on her. I said, "Have a nice day," and I hung up on her.
Yeah, fair.
Look, here's the deal. If a restaurant repeatedly fucks you over, you don't keep going there and then asking for a refund. You just stop going. Yeah. Hell, I get fucked over not even fucked over. If I have a bad experience with a restaurant once, I'm probably not going back. Maybe I'll try it a second time. If I have 2 bad experiences with a restaurant, I just stop going.
Yeah, I think I mentioned on the podcast, I had a bad experience with ordering from Domino's once. And I went through Uber Eats and the Uber Eats driver, like, came with the wrong food. I told him, like, "Hey, can you go back and get my food?" And then he said, "Yeah." And I showed him my name and like what I ordered. And then like 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, he called me back saying like, "I don't know what you ordered. I don't know who you are." And just like ditched me basically. And I'm like, well, I took me like 2 weeks to get a refund from Domino's, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go back to there again. Sticking with Pizza Hut, my boys. Fuck that.
It's so easy to get like fucked over by DoorDash. I never do it. I love the stories that are like, the DoorDash driver ate my food and then I like texted him about it. He was like, "Sorry, man, it smelled really good."
Yeah, I've never had that, luckily.
I've never had that, but I've seen it on. I'm sure it doesn't happen often. I'm sure like 99% of DoorDash orders tend to go well, but like
no, the main thing that happens to me that's annoying is like when it says, "Oh, they're going to be here in 5 minutes," and then I see them drive past my place to another restaurant 10 minutes away. It's like, well,
you're like, but yeah,
why? That's the only annoying thing. For the most part, it's good experiences. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, customer service, you're always going to get.
The idea of an old lady trying to scam you is really good.
Yeah, I've had someone call me the next day. So it wasn't even a shift I worked. And they called the next day and was like, hey, I've ordered from you guys and you guys are always awesome. And this didn't taste good. And I looked at her order and it was just a bad order. It was just a bunch of bland stuff. And I was like,
hey lady,
first of all, I'm like,
sorry to say, your pizza choices just kind of suck.
I'm like, sorry, that sucked. You ordered a bad thing. It's also like, don't call the next day. Call day of. Because what am I gonna do about it? It's already gone. I don't know what happened because I wasn't there, so I can't really like back up anything. And then I kind of sat there and was like, do you want a refund? And she was like, no. And I was like, then why the fuck did you call me?
Oh, yeah, that's what?
She was like, I just wanted to let you guys know. And I was like, yeah, I see what you ordered. I know that wouldn't taste good, but you ordered it. It's kind of like if you go to Subway and you're like, man, I didn't like the ingredients on this sandwich. It's like,
brother,
you asked for that sandwich. I could get behind being like, Subway's ingredients are kind of shitty. Sure. But if you're like, man, I ordered this mushroom provolone and I didn't like it because I don't like mushrooms. It's like,
well,
or you're like, yeah, it was bland. I only had lettuce and mushrooms. It's like, well, you ordered things with a lack of flavor.
Yeah, at least get some sauce in that bad boy, at least, man. Come on.
Get some sauce in that bad boy. Get some cheese. Get some meats.
Anything, like Christ. I always have the exact same Subway order because, like, I mean, this is partially me growing up as like more of a picky eater, but I also think, for me, I really struggle to like go ahead and try new food from new restaurants because it's always like, when I'm hungry, I want to be satisfied. And going to a new place, there's more of a chance that I'm not going to be satisfied by the thing I order. So it's very rare I like try something completely new. Same with like Subway. I don't even go that often, but whenever I go, I get the exact same thing every time. I've had the same McDonald's order for like 15 years. You have. And honestly, it works. I fuck with it.
See, I'm the opposite. I love trying.
I've gotten better. I will say I've gotten a lot better at trying new things, and I'm better when I'm with someone else because I can like trust their judgment on like whether they think something's good. When I'm by myself, I'm much more likely just to resort to the things I know I like.
Sure. I mean, there are restaurants where like I've gone to enough that I have like a usual. I feel like especially dessert places, I'm always doing something different.
Yeah. That's fair.
Always trying something different. Like ice cream places, especially if they have a ton of different rotating like toppings and like flavors, I'm always doing something different.
You know, I always get the exact same ice cream no matter what. If it's gelato, I get lemon and mango or lime. If it's a regular ice cream, I usually get like rainbow and bubblegum. Yep, I am.
I thought you were gonna say something just really generic, which
I am a 5-year-old girl. If there is a rainbow,
I'm not even against bubblegum ice cream, but that being your first choice is fucking absurd.
If there's a rainbow or bubblegum flavor, I will always get it. And when it's bubblegum, I don't mean like there's bits. Sometimes there's bits in it, but just like that, whatever that flavor is, whatever they call it,
sure,
I always go for that.
You can have that as like the base flavor.
I'd also go for like cookies and cream sometimes, but like.
Okay, that's better.
I just love a good, because I think I found out recently that rainbow flavor is like caramel, apparently. It just like looks rainbow.
Really?
Apparently, I don't know. That's just what I always go for. So if you see me walking around with ice cream, it's probably pink and purple and colorful. Don't judge me.
Is this the objectively bad part of the podcast?
No, don't judge me. It tastes good, man.
I'm kind of disgusted.
It tastes good, man. Let your inner child flow.
I'm sure it tastes good, but I'm just sad that that's your go-to.
Yep.
I'm moving on. Dan, this is a question for you.
All right. Are you going to question why my taste in ice cream are weird?
I just go, Dan, how do you look at yourself in the mirror? No. Dan, what's the most stressful component of being your own boss and being a content creator?
A deep question. All right.
Maybe just pick one, because this could be a whole episode.
Yeah. I'll try and keep it brief. This is going to be different for every person depending on their personality type and like how they manage themselves. I am notoriously really bad at like self-management, time management, discipline, motivation. I'm kind of a mess, right?
All the things you need to be a content creator / your own boss.
Yeah. So like for me, on the contrary though, I don't get stressed very easily. I'm a very chilled out person. It takes a lot to really stress me out. So, it's honestly, I'm honestly like, how do I word this? I'm so chilled out that it's to my detriment at times because like I should be stressing out in some situations and I just don't. Like I probably should upload more than I do, but I'm just like, it is what it is. I'll get to it eventually. The main times when I do get stressed out as a YouTuber being my own boss is when I do see like a massive decrease in income for that month, or the views have dropped off a lot on my videos. Then I'm like, oh shit, people starting to lose interest. I'm kind of losing it a little bit. So then I'll put in a bit more work to just sort of bring it back up. But sometimes it's not even the fact that people are losing interest. Sometimes it's the YouTube algorithm, which is a fucking beast that no one understands. And it will just go up and down randomly. And it will stress me out at times, but as a whole, how do I, like, I don't really manage my own stress too much because, again, I don't get stressed. In terms of, like, the pure question you ask, what is the most stressful component of being your own boss? It really is just the fact that you don't really have anyone else holding you accountable. So if you do fuck up, and you lose a bunch of viewership, or you lose a bunch of income, or you don't make your product for a long time, it's all on you. It's all on you. You have no one, unless you've gotten to the point where you have editors working for you or managers. Recently, I've started working with a management company that helped me get sponsors. So like I do have contractual obligations to upload a video at this time. And that does help a bit. It arguably makes the job more stressful because like, oh shit, I need to make sure I get a good video out at this time. But in my case, personally, having more stress about uploading is probably a good thing because otherwise I won't actually do the work. So for me, I kind of just use stress as a tool to like force me to do the work I should be doing because I'm really bad at managing myself otherwise. For someone who is like the opposite of me and is stressed all the time, I don't know exactly how you fix that. You just gotta take a chill pill, really. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
it's a difficult thing.
Or just keep working so you can't think about the stress.
Exactly.
That's bad. Don't do that. That's not gonna work out very well for you.
Yeah, no. So yeah, the most stressful part is losing viewership, but then it's kind of a boost to me. It's a weird thing. It's odd.
Yeah, even with our pod, which is like, obviously there's way lower numbers than your channel. There are moments where like, we'll see a video, like our last video actually did pretty good, relatively. You'll have a video that does really well and you're like, hell yeah. You'll have a video, and this actually is a good segue into our last question, where you'll have a video where you put a bunch of effort into it. You're like, this is going to be really good. Like you recorded it. You're like, damn, that felt good. Yeah. You edit it. And then you get like no views and you're like, why do I exist?
Yeah. Well,
why am I here?
When you mention that, it does kind of, I guess both these questions kind of come as a package deal. I don't know if I'd equivalate that feeling with stress. I guess I would partially, but like, yeah, when I upload a video and it's a 10 out of 10, which on the YouTube system just means it performed, out of your last 10 videos, it performed the worst. Got the least views, least watch time, least likes or whatever. So when I do see a 10 out of 10 video on something that I worked hard on, that is very demotivating. It kind of depresses you out for a bit. Like when you wake up, check your phone, a 10 out of 10, I just have no motivation to work that day because it's like, well, people already hate me. What's the point? What's the point of doing this again? And that does happen. Obviously, after a while, I remember that, oh shit, yeah, this is my job. If I don't get myself into gear soon, I'm going to be homeless. And I eventually work myself back up.
You've been doing it long enough that you know that sometimes you just have a video that doesn't do well. Sometimes you got a video that fucking crushes it. And it's all about the average. It's if you look at each individual, if you only track the lows or you only track the highs, at the end of the day, you might put a video out that's like, man, that's really high up there. That's outperforming most of your other stuff. And you have a video that's real low. At the end of the day, it averages. And it's still, you're still doing pretty well.
And also when it comes to like, I guess anything that is like being your own boss as a business, it's very easy to get like a 10 out of 10 or a month that was worse than usual. But then you need to compare that to where you were like a year ago. And like, so like I had a month this year that was the lowest month this year in terms of income by far. But then compare that to where my channel was 2 years ago, it would have been the highest month there. So even though it feels low, I'm actually much higher than my previous like highs. So you got to look at it as like a graph. Like on YouTube, what I'll do occasionally is like go to my channel analytics, go to my views or income section and set it to like all time. So I can see the complete graph of like how much money or views or subscribers I've got over the course of the 3+ years I've been doing it. And even though I have low months, even now, those low months are still much higher than it was at the start. There's still progress. I'm not going backwards ever. And I think until that does happen, which hopefully doesn't for at least another decade, I'm not really ever too stressed out. I've not got to the point where, like, I'm very fortunate in this case. I'm very mentally well for the most part. I've never had a panic attack. I don't really have like stress to the point where I'm like crying or whatever. So I'm fortunate in that case that I'm just a very chilled out person. Yeah.
I think that kind of leads us into our last question, which was, are there any episodes of the pod that turned out much better or worse than you anticipated? I think kind of the first note is like, it actually turned out exactly how we figured. All of our GTA videos tend to do pretty well.
Yeah.
We kind of know what we're doing when we put out a GTA video. It makes sense that it does better. It's what you do, and a lot of our audience is your audience, so like it makes sense that we'll pull people when we talk about GTA. A lot of times we try not to just do it just to get views. A lot of times we're like, all right, either we haven't talked about it in a while, or something interesting has happened, or I mean, you play it all the time, so you obviously have thoughts on it.
Yeah,
so sometimes it's not even like,
sometimes it will just come up naturally in conversation, and then I'll put it as the thumbnail and title to like get a bit more views. But we do talk about it even if it's only like 10 minutes or so. But yeah, GTA videos, like if you go to our most viewed videos, let me go through this.
It's all GTA.
The top is GTA, second is GTA, third is GTA, fourth is our episode 0, fifth and 6 are not GTA, but then 7, 8 are both GTA, 9 has Franklin in the thumbnail. So like, yeah, the majority of our high viewing videos are all GTA, which is obviously to be expected. And we have no problem with that. If it helps, I think the way we both view the GTA episodes is that they do well and they bring in more viewers, and hopefully those viewers like what they see and stay for more episodes that are not GTA related.
Yeah.
And I think that has worked. I mean, there's been ups and downs on the podcast channel. Obviously when we go back down to like once every 2 weeks, there's more lows.
I think some of the ones that have surprised us are usually we'll point out a couple videos, but the main like thing where we get surprised is we both go into a video and we just sit here and go, I tried, but I just have nothing. And we'll just rant about random shit. And there's no structure. We just kind of got there. Because I mean, the nice thing that we have between the two of us is like, we talk to each other all the time, so we can stir up some form of conversation.
Yep.
But we didn't have like anything going into the video, and then we somehow do well. Like our Halloween in Australia video, that one did really well. I think we went in it going, oh, let's talk about Halloween. But I don't even think that was necessarily the main focus.
No, I don't think so.
It was around Halloween, and we were like, I don't know how to talk about Halloween.
Yeah, we did an episode.
Another one that did really.
Well, this was, so there's that. There's also topical episodes also tend to do well. We did an episode right after Squid Game Season 3 finished. And you hadn't watched it. I just watched it. We only talked about it for about 20 minutes of the episode. The rest we just kind of ranted about like ways to end TV shows. But like that episode did really well, just talking about Squid Game.
Yeah.
We had another video, we're declaring war on all delivery companies, which was just me for like the first 20 minutes ranting about my delivery nightmare, and that video did really well. Even though it was like nothing to do with gaming or GTA or nerd stuff, it was just us talking about delivery companies, and it did really well. So that was kind of a shock.
I don't necessarily know why. I don't know if it was just generic enough that anyone could relate. I think the flip side of like ones that did worse are every once in a while we're like, we're gonna put a ton of effort into a video on a topic. We had like 3 in a row that it was the Superman movie, the Fantastic Four movie, and then we did Mario vs. Sonic. We were like, the 2 movies are topical. They're both coming out at the time. We'll talk about those. And then Mario vs. Sonic, we both like each watched a movie and played some of the games and like kind of dug into like comparisons. They all did terrible. They didn't do terribly, but they were all
a bit below
I
average.
think they all kind of popped out as 10. Yeah, they were below average.
Yeah, and maybe for those, like, maybe, like, you would think Superman and Fantastic Four would have done better because they were topical. Mario and Sonic, you could argue maybe it was a bit too specific, but we've also had other episodes that were, like, talking about Pokemon, and I feel like they did a lot better than that. Actually, to be fair, our most recent, the new Pokemon game does not look good. Is our worst performing video, like, almost ever. So maybe it is too specific compared to what we do talk about usually.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily know the rhyme or reason. Sometimes it's just a better week. Sometimes it's just a worse week. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, sometimes we put a ton of effort into one and sometimes we put a bunch of effort into one and it works.
Yep.
We'll spend a lot of time on some of these GTA videos, but sometimes we just kind of are like, I don't know, let's just talk about something. I have ideas maybe, and they just do well. And I'll never complain. I'll be mystified by it. I'll be confused by it.
With a channel as small as the podcast is, the algorithm's a bit weirder. Like when you get very low view numbers, so the way the algorithm works, no one really knows fully, but the general basis of it is that when a video is published, it will first be shown to your audience, people who are subscribed to you, people who watch you regularly. It'll be shown in their sub boxes, notifications, home pages. And based on how your audience receives it, it will then start to push out to people outside of the viewers that usually watch you. So if your core audience doesn't like your video, it's less likely to get shown to more people. If they do like it, it is more likely to be shown. But then let's say, for example, our core audience really likes the video, but then the outside audience doesn't like the video, then it'll stop getting shown kind of straight away. Then there will also be the inverse effect of that of our audience really likes it and the outside audience really likes it, and then it'll get pushed more. And when you get such a little view numbers, there's very few data points for YouTube to collect data on. So it's really sort of almost a flip of the coin sometimes of which video is going to take off and which isn't. We can always bet on a GTA video doing pretty well, but apart from that, it's kind of difficult to decide.
Yeah, I think every video that we do that doesn't mention GTA is kind of a toss-up, just because we're at pretty low viewership.
Yeah, and also like,
which I mean,
if I was trying to optimize views in the perfect way, I would probably make our thumbnails and titles are probably fine. I'd probably make our thumbnails a bit different, probably not have our faces in them, or maybe just even have my face since I'm more known because of my own channel.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we're doing this for fun. At the end of the, like as well. It's not it's not the Dan podcast with Chad. It's objectively bad. It's us together. So I don't want to like force it to be more of my thing to get more views or anything like that. We could
We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for the love of the game.
Hell yeah, baby. Like we could edit a bit more. We started to put in the chapters, you can see, as a way to help viewer retention and get more people interested. If there's a section that only you want to listen to, you just listen to that. We're thinking about possibly editing the video a little bit more to make it a bit more interesting, but at the end of the day, it is a podcast. It's meant just to be two people talking for like an hour, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, just to throw a question back at you at the end, for those who are still watching, listening, however, leave a comment below. What type of episodes do you enjoy the most? Obviously, GTA is going to be up there, but apart from that, do you like the ranting episodes? Do you like the episodes where we talk about one topic the entire time? Do you like video game stuff? Do you like real life stuff? What, in general, like, what do you find the most interesting? Because getting those ideas from you will help us to create more episodes on the stuff you like.
Yeah, no, we're always reading the comments. We're always looking. We're always taking in what people are saying. So yeah, let us know. Love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, but that's all the questions we had for today's video. Like I said, if you have anything more we'd like to answer, maybe chuck a comment down below and we might answer it at the end of like just random episodes whenever we get the chance to, or do another episode like this if there's enough stuff. But yeah, I think that's about it. Chad, any final words?
Giggity.
Cool.
I guess it's one word.
True.
Yeah. Real original.
Yeah, good one. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.